Welcome to Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by SeoSamba. Comprehensive high-performing marketing solutions for mature and emerging franchise brands. To supercharge your franchise marketing, go to SeoSamba.com. That's SeoSamba.com.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Franchise Marketing Radio, and this is going to be a good one. Today on the show, we have Joshua Malik with Joshua Tree Experts. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, Lee. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I'm excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us about Joshua Tree Experts. How you serving folks?
We are in the green industry. We provide general tree care, which is pruning and removal services. Plant health care is insect disease management on trees and shrubs. We also have another model, which is lawn care, fertilizer, weed control, aeration. And we also do indoor-outdoor flea, mosquito, and tick, which is our pest control department.
Now, how did the idea come about? What was the initial thoughts when you launched this?
Well, I've been in the industry for 30 years. In 92, when I graduated high school, I got right into doing tree care at a local tree care company within the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania area, and developed them skills in the field for about 8 years. Found an opportunity towards the Philadelphia region for sales and management, did that for 5 years, and just really had the passion that I wanted to be an owner of a business, develop my own team. So in 2005, I launched Joshua Tree Experts out of my 3-car garage with a 100 square foot of office space. So it's been a heck of a ride since that time.
Now, when you launched it, were you always thinking, at some point I'm going to franchise this? Or was this like, hey, now this is my own empire I can build here in the area and we'll see where it goes?
Man, what a great question. If I look back at my business plan from 2005 when I launched, I was happy to get to a 7-employee company, servicing one general tree crew, a plant health crew, and really a small office staff. And when you really start learning on how to develop people and taking people's strengths, it's really energizing and incredible on how much growth you can accomplish.
So what was the switch that flipped that said, you know what, we might have something here that can be replicated and we can train other people to do this and provide this service at this level and create those, predictable, repeatable processes. How did that idea come about? Because that becomes a different business now, right? It's different than, being in someone's yard. Now you're training someone in a market nowhere near you to do what you're doing.
Yeah, it is. And, when we launched Joshua Tree Experts, I think one of the biggest opportunities was within our service area. We really focused on providing, everyone says, hey, they want to give excellent customer service, right? But we really focused on that from the initial call to the follow-up. We under-promise, over-deliver. It's been a big factor of, even hiring our coworkers on that, sharing that clear vision with them of what we want to do. And training is huge. We always knew that we would have a competitive edge by having, certified arborist on staff, having industry certifications that can really focus on employee development, which helps them professionally and personally develop. And over the last few years, we've really developed our processes and systems down to each function of the business of operations, sales and marketing, finance and admin. And we've really built out a table of contents that really shows, hey, this is how you operate this business. When something happens, this is how, this is the action plan that you have to take place. So we really focused on building those out, and the team has done a really excellent job at doing that. So we knew that we could develop and replicate this system, anywhere within the country.
Now, once you decide to do that and you say, okay, we have something here, we got it, we created this playbook for success. Now you go out to the world and say, okay, hey, do you want to open a Joshua Tree Experts in your market? Are you looking for the Joshes like you were, that person that had been in the business, had kind of got the lay of the land and is maybe struggling or is frustrated or just doesn't know the ropes as well as you do? And here now you have a playbook that'll take whatever you were doing more to be more successful, or is this somebody who doesn't necessarily have to have that kind of experience you have had of, working in people's yards and working with trees and doing all that stuff?
Sure. Ideally, we would take on the right person to fit this seat and want to expand and improve their lifestyle from where they're currently at. I know from my own experience, getting individuals that have, 20, 25 years experience, it's hard for them to break a cycle that they're in, whether it's a process that they're doing. They might have some really strong beliefs on the way that they perform the work and might not be flexible or like-minded on the way that we're performing it. We really believe, as I picked up the training part, I love getting industry professionals that don't have that type of experience within our industry. Maybe they have work experience, but they understand that they can be developed on learning the proper way of doing something from the get-go. So I would lean towards the people that are maybe business-minded, have some really good communication skills, emotional intelligence, have the drive to want to succeed, are able to follow processes. And I think I would find that more in that executive style person, or someone that, isn't quite within the tree care industry currently.
Because at the end of the day, they're more in charge of the operations and the sales, and then they're going to hire out the people that are going into people's yards.
That's exactly it. We're looking to focus on people that are going to, have the drive to work on the business and not so much in the business. I know from my own experience, when you first launch, you're pretty heavily hands-on, maybe with the first 6 months to a year. But then when you get the right people in the right place, you developed your team, you got your equipment out there, you got your clientele, your sales and marketing is working. I want you to start thinking about the big picture and really, driving those unit economics.
Now, you mentioned a variety of services. When you become a Joshua Tree Expert franchisee, do you have access to all of those lines, those revenue lines, or is that each one its own individual brand?
It is its own individual brand. I'm really glad that you asked that. When I launched in 2005, I launched as a general tree care plant healthcare company. I developed those 13 years of skills performing that service. And, we're heavily equipment and vehicle, invested to go perform the service that we're doing. And, in regards to training, it's much easier to not just train on the brand, but also to train on the industry, to focus on general tree care plant healthcare. That's going to be the launching service. We have developed a scorecard of KPIs that are numbered and tiered that will help you get into the lawn care industry when you can launch that, and then the pest control. And we really put that back on the franchisees' lap to say, hey, to get to the lawn care, you need to develop these skills. We need to hit the scorecard of the KPIs at this level. Then you can roll in lawn care. And then it would be the same thing for the pest control. When I launched in 2005, I didn't launch lawn care until 2017. We launched pest control in 2020. We've just learned on developing that marketing plan and hiring the right people to run those departments on how to launch that properly now.
So the ideal situation is somebody goes in initially as kind of the tree person and then earns their way up to these other brands based on their performance, rather than somebody saying, hey, I just want to do pest control and I'm going to just jump in and start at pest control.
That is correct. We have 3 models in the one brand, and we want our franchisees to offer that. And our base is absolutely, without a doubt, has always been general tree care plant healthcare. That's where my 30 years, experience comes from. We know how to develop that brand and find those clients very easily through that. When I say find those clients, the consumer clients like that. And then we would develop that team of professionals to launch our franchisees, helping them get the equipment, searching their subcontractors if they need that, getting their vendors on, hooked up with them. And then once they hit those KPIs, and it's developing into lawn care and then offering the pest control.
So how many do you have right now?
We just emerged, and when I say that, we just completed our FPD late last year. We just got little minor touches on it and renewed. We have some people in the pipeline, but we have not landed our first sale yet, and we are so close and so excited to doing it. So when I say we're just coming out, Lee, we are just emerging.
So this is a great opportunity for folks out there that are in that same kind of space that you are at right now. You have a successful company and that has been proven successful in your local market, and now you're emerging and you're kind of trying to get those first ones on the board. What's some advice you can give other people in that boat, whether they're in the point of approaching that and saying, hey, we want to do this? What are some of the do's and don'ts, and what are the things that you have found to be most successful thus far when it comes to getting those first ones in the pipeline?
I would say I think one of the biggest things, Lee, is that defining your own path in the franchise space, I think, is really important. And when I say that, is a lot of people within this industry can give you a lot of advice, which could kind of make that road, instead of going straight, a lot of intersections that you come through and you start making a left turn and then you start making a right turn again. Define your plan early and stick with it. You might be a trailblazer and start doing things a little bit different than everybody else, and that's okay to do that. It really, really is, but it's got to be your own belief on which path you want to create and which way you want to go down. When you do start developing, we have a franchise sales organization that we're working with, Pinnacle. We just launched with 5 different broker groups, and working with them closely and kicking some stuff off of them, but still making that decision on your own and defining on what you want to do and creating that plan it's ultimately up to you, and you got to make those decisions for yourself. So that would probably be my key takeaway from that, is that you can get very confused within this industry fast, but have your strong beliefs on what you want to do and keep your nose down and just keep moving ahead.
Now, when you decided to do the franchise path and you got all your documentation, all that stuff, did you at first try to do this on your own and just say, hey, we can figure it out, we're smart, we've been doing this for a while, how hard could it be? Or did you immediately get expert help?
That's awesome. We've developed, when I tell you about Joshua Tree Experts currently, we're a good sized firm within our area. We have over 60 employees. We just launched our second location last year, in March 1st of last year. So we just completed our first year in our second corporate location. We knew getting into the space of franchising and selling franchises that, hey, we weren't experts in it. I studied and did some research for about 1.5 years, 2 years. So it wasn't a quick decision. We knew, again, developing that plan of what it was going to be. I launched and hired SMB, is a consulting group out of Philadelphia, Steve Beagleman and his team, and they have been awesome to work with. They helped us develop our operations manual. They hooked us up with Inter Nicola law firm out of Jersey, which helped create our FDD. And we have a really solid, pieces there, and having them to bounce ideas off of, talk things through, network with other, franchises they launched with, mature and emergent, has been absolutely wonderful. And we knew that was going to be important. I've talked to some people that have gone on this at their own. It's taken them a lot of time. It's taken them a lot more of an investment, and they never really got to where they wanted to be. I feel like we're, after a year of working on it, and we really did start about 1 year ago, that we're in a really good spot and a really good space to really project now.
So now, are there certain markets that are better than others? Like, what is kind of, in your mind, the ideal Joshua Tree expert market? Like, what are some of the qualities of that market?
Well, we definitely want some demographics to be good. We got to think about the topography of certain places. Some places in the Southwest probably aren't the most, extreme, places for us. Northeast, East Coast, Midwest places, even on the West Coast, are good. We got to think about, tree size. We got to think about vegetation, as in, what lawns currently look like. Pest control is something that, is basically, we can do anywhere. But, and we're launching as a tree care, we got to think, my ideal spot for us to get our first couple sales, Lee, would honestly be locally to the region that we're at. Pennsylvania, within a 5-hour radius of us, that would be key. We can give some excellent support. The topography is very close. The demographics are very close to what we're working with right now. Geography is very close. We have, our ideal consumer client target profile would be, someone in their, 40-year-old plus, single dwelling home, half acre plus. That gives us, home values of $350,000 and up, gives us the ability to really cross-sell our services. We might get calls for tree work, and it could be a tree removal job. It could be a tree pruning job. We go out there, we're able to cross-sell and upsell our other, departments that we have. So different areas of the country that we can find that opportunity. They got trees, they got the landscape care that they need, they got the pest control. We get to offer them all three brands.
And if somebody wants to learn more about the opportunity, what's the website?
Yeah, JoshuaTreeExperts.com. They can go to the consumer website there. There's a tab top right there for franchising. That'll take you to JTEfranchising.com, and they can fill out a submission form, and we can go from there.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Lee, I appreciate the time, man. Have a good day, brother.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Franchise Marketing Radio.